So I'm a big advocate for physical media, as you may know if you see this in my background of all the videos. And a part of the channel, I kind of want to showcase what I own, just because why not? And although I'm not going to do all of my Blu-rays right now, I'm going to go through at least all of the Criterion Collection films that I own. This is in spine number order. No, I do not own every single Criterion release. I am not Daisuke Beppu after all. But I like it to be in order with it all. There's going to be films in this that I have not seen, and I'll highlight the ones that I have not seen and move on, because I don't have anything to say about the films I have not seen. Also, any films I have discussed previously in full videos, I'll link in the description below, and yeah, so without further ado, let's go to the very first film I own in the Criterion Collection. It's Spine number 2, and what a film to start off with then. Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai. This is the DVD version that I got in Barnes & Nobles in Florida. I adore this film. It's one of my all-time favorite films. This is in my top 5 of all time. I think it's tied as maybe the greatest film ever made, with another film that I'll discuss later on in this video. I adore it. I think it's in terms of an action spectacle, it might be the greatest version of that. And I think it's kind of like the blueprint of storytelling in the sense of, there's like, I challenge anyone. Obviously, it's a big, intimidating film in the sense of if I just go to someone, you need to watch Seven Samurai. It's a 3.5 hour Japanese black and white film from the 50s. And they go, oh my God, no. But I challenge anyone to watch this film and get so far with it. And if it gets to the intermission and you're not buckled in and invested, I question if you even like entertainment. Toshiro Mifune's performance of this is also one of my all-time favorite performances in anything. I think it's sensational. Akira Kurosawa, what an absolute god. If there's a Mount Rushmore filmmakers, Akira Kurosawa surely sits in that. I love Seven Samurai. It's amazing. Oops. And if you want to know my more in-depth thoughts about Seven Samurai, Robbie and I discussed this in full over on the Intermission podcast. So if you want to hear my more in-depth thoughts on Seven Samurai, I'll leave a link in the description below for that film. Now, on to the next one. This one's a Blu-ray. And speaking of Toshiro Mifune samurai films from the 50s, the Samurai Trilogy. This is the one where Toshiro Mifune plays Musashi Miyamoto, a real-life samurai who is kind of like the archetype for the stoic samurai in terms of characters. If you watch a film that includes a stoic samurai character, odds on the route goes back to Musashi Miyamoto. These films are great. They're stunning films as well, in beautiful, rich Technicolor. I believe it's Technicolor. It's that kind of look to it, though. It's gorgeously shot. Each film is really entertaining. They're great-looking films with Toshiro Mifune as a samurai. I need to give them a rewatch. I can't remember loads about them. I remember enjoying them all very much so. So maybe I'll give them a rewatch and talk about them for a video over on here. But Samurai Trilogy, great set of films. If you're in for that, they're not pulpy samurai. They're not like Lady Snowblood. They are on the more serious side of the samurai fiction. But what I will say is they're all kind of they're not really heady, in-depth watches. There's a bit of light viewing with them. But they're serious films with a very good performance by Toshiro Mifune. I've yet to see a bad performance by that man. Next on the collection is Fritz Lang's M. This is a DVD version of it all. Trying not to get a glare. There you go. I've seen this once years ago, and I can't remember loads about it. I think the very first time I watched this film was it was on YouTube. It was a YouTube rip of the film, and I remember enjoying it. But I can't remember loads about it, so I might give it a rewatch. Again, another example. I might give it a rewatch and share my thoughts on this. But yes, Fritz Lang's M is Another one I own. Next up is another DVD. It is The Red Shoes, written and directed by Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger, also known as The Archers. Stunning film. I absolutely love this film. I think it's one of the best looking films of all time. Talk about one of the best uses of Technicolor ever. That ballet sequence I still think is one of the greatest sequences in cinematic history. I think it's kind of like the perfect example of what film can do as a whole. Like, this film as a whole is like, why is cinema the greatest art form ever made, Oscar? Well, because films like Red Shoes exist. If you want my more in-depth thoughts about this, Robbie and I discussed this film as an episode of the Intermission podcast, so link below for that specific episode, Red Shoes. I absolutely love it. Next up is a Blu-ray. This one is Taste of Cherry by Abbas Kiarostami. Beautifully patient film. Love this film. Was this my first Kiarostami? I can't remember if I watched this before. What was it, like somebody to love, like somebody to Tom? The Japanese one he did as well. I can't remember if I watched this before or after this. Either way, this might still be my favorite Kiarostami film. I still gotta watch a good amount of Kiarostami, but this one is, it's melancholic as all hell. It's a proper melancholic film. Pieced together by like a really captivating performance, but also incredibly simple. Who's the Homanyan Arashradi, I believe is the pronunciation. Apologies if I mispronounced that man's name. He gave a great performance. It's simple, but it's so existential, and I wouldn't say it's a happy film at all. In fact, it's a pretty big downer of a film. But the film operates in such a realistic presentation that you don't get too engulfed in its really depressing themes. It just comes across more so slice of life, but just with a really dark, dour theme of it all. But it's an amazing film. Love it. That is Taste of Cherry. Now, the next one coming up, ladies and gentlemen, is another Blu-ray. This one is The Passion of Joan of Arc by Carl Theodor Driver, starring Maria Falconetti, from 1928, a silent film. One of the greatest films I think's ever made. Again, not necessarily a favorite, although it would be in my like probably top 100, top 250 of all time, probably. I don't know. It's amazing, and it's amazing that I think a film that is just a courtroom drama basically can. A silent film, which is a courtroom drama, can be this captivating. Because obviously when you think silent film, you're like, oh, so it must have to have a lot of physicality and a lot of, a lot of slapstick, or if not slapstick. There needs to be a lot of locations. There needs to be a lot of things going on with this film, with a film to be interesting, where, to be perfectly honest, I think this is one of the most captivating films I've ever seen. And again, it's a bunch of people talking in a room where there's no audio. It's absolutely sensational. It's one, I think it might have the best example of close-ups in cinematic history, and Maria Falconetti as Joan of Arc it's one of the greatest performances I've ever seen in my life. It's amazing. I can't wait to rewatch it. I haven't seen it in a while, but no, it's absolutely great. Phenomenal film. The Passion of Joan of Arc. Next up is another Blu-ray. This one is Carnival of Souls. A very fun film. A very underrated film that I don't hear get talked about a lot in terms of horror. It's not really in-depth or heady or existential, but it's really just, it's such like a cool, trippy concept that is so captivating. So it kind of has a bit of cheesy horror to it, but the film's shot beautifully. It's one of the best like black and white shot films I've seen. And also, hey man, it's 78 minutes long. It goes by. It's amazing. Carnival Souls. Would want to give this a rewatch actually. Might do it for Summerween. Might rewatch Carnival Souls for Summerween. Next up is a DVD, and this one is Rushmore, the sophomore film by Wes Anderson. Now, I'm not sure how much of the minority I am with this film. I'm not in love with Rushmore. And I'm a Wes Anderson fan. I haven't really cared much for him recently. Like, I still have yet to see The Phoenician Scheme, and I haven't had much drive to watch The Phoenician Scheme. I'll get to it eventually, because he's one of the few filmmakers that I have completed his filmography. No, I haven't, but I did. And Rushmore at one point was the final film to watch. And it's fine. It's okay. It didn't do anything more for me, really. I don't know. I'll probably revisit it at some point. Maybe go through like all of Wes Anderson's films, and see how I feel about it. But no, not massively hot on Rushmore. Next up, we've got is The Last Temptation of Christ, directed by Martin Scorsese, starring Willem Dafoe as Jesus himself. I haven't seen this film yet, but I love Martin Scorsese. I love Willem Dafoe. So I'll get to it at some point. Just have not gotten to it just yet. Next up is Black Narcissus, another film directed by Michael Powell and Emmerich Pressburger. Have not seen this one yet either. I look forward to, though. Yep. And next up is Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee. My favorite Spike Lee film. I haven't seen every Spike Lee film yet, but out of all the ones I have seen, this is my favorite. It's so good. I need to give it another rewatch. I mean, hey, it's summertime, and this is such a great summer film that you can feel the heat in this film. It does a really great job for me for the majority of the film, like for the first 2 acts, kind of just being a bit of a hangout film. Like, you're just kind of going about your day and seeing all these characters that inhabit this environment, and just kind of see what the community is like within it. And then by the 3rd act, that's when shit gets real. And when it does get real, it's so like, oh my God. It's just, I think it's like just such a high example of like a high standard piece of social like interaction filmmaking. Putting actual social issues on film, and doing it really incredibly well and powerfully. Do the Right Thing is an example of that. I hope that makes sense. It's great. Do the Right Thing is fantastic. Next up I've got is La Ventura, which is a film by Michelangelo Antonioni, an Italian film from the 60s. I think this is okay. I've seen it once. I can't remember loads about it. I wasn't that invested, and the fact that I can't really recall a lot of it kind of says a bit. I'm willing to go back to it though. But yeah, La Ventura probably deserves a rewatch. Next up is The Lady Eve, from the 40s, I believe. Yeah, 1941, starring Henry Fonda and Barbara Stanwyck. I wasn't a big fan of this. I can't remember loads about it, but I remember watching it and thinking to myself, no, I don't think I'm a big fan of this one. Like, old comedies seem to be hit or miss for me, like screwball-y comedies. When they hit, they really do hit. And there's another example of a screwball comedy that really does hit for me, that we'll get to a bit later on. There's a few examples, but The Lady Eve didn't quite do it for me. But I'm willing to give it another go. But as of right now, not the biggest fan of The Lady Eve. Next up is a DVD, and it is Rashomon by Akira Kurosawa. This was the first Kurosawa film I saw, and I haven't seen it since the first time, so be over 10 years now I've watched this. But talk about a film that still has a lasting impression on me. Like, I still think about this film every now and then. Again, first time going into the film, thinking to myself, oh, it's going to be a Akira Kurosawa film. Again, it's 88 minutes long, so I'm like, oh, it's not going to be like it's not like Seven Samurai, so it's not going to be too long, so I can get this in and out kind of situation. Thinking that I'm getting like just a samurai action film, and what you get is like a courtroom drama, basically, with many different perspectives on a crime. Again, what a shock. Kurosawa is like so influential on storytelling as a whole, and to the point of where like you've probably seen this kind of story, but you don't realize it came from Rashomon. includes another really fascinating, great performance by Toshiro Mifune. Different than Seven Samurai and the Samurai Trilogy, but still very captivating. Oh, man, I really want to give this another watch, man. I love it. Rashomon's great. And next up is another DVD. It is Federico Fellini's 8.5. Shock, everyone. I've not seen this. And even more of a shock, I've never seen a Fellini film yet. So I look forward to watching his filmography for the very first time, because I think I would dig it. I don't know. I say that now. Now, this one, I've got two versions. I got the DVD and I got the Blu-ray. And that is The Royal Tenenbaums by Wes Anderson. So there's the DVD of it with like a little cardboard slip to it. And here's the Blu-ray of it. And why have I got two versions of it? Because I love the film so much. I love The Royal Tenenbaums a lot. It's been a while since I've seen it. I haven't seen it in a good time. I think this is like... I don't think it's Wes Anderson's best. I'll get to two other films of his that I like more than this. But this is like my third favorite Wes Anderson film. But I think this is almost his best film on a stripped down level. Like, this is the best example of what Wes Anderson does the best on a very stripped down pure form. And that is like characters and their interactions with each other with a style surround it. A perfect example of like Wes Anderson doesn't need the big sets or the big, like, you know, loads of locations or the really elaborate costumes to make a really, like, just, like, intimately great film. Royal Tenenbaums is that. Royal Tenenbaums is amazing. It's fantastic. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. Next up, I've got is a Blu-ray of Solaris by Andrei Tarkovsky, and I've yet to watch it. I feel like it's a one that I need to prepare for, almost. Get in the right headspace for it. Next up, I've got the Complete Monterey Pop Festival. This is by, is it D.A. Pennebaker? Is that who did this one? Yeah, D.A. Pennebaker. Who's an absolutely great documentarian filmmaker. There's one other film of his that's going to come up at some point here. It's a compilation, or it's like kind of like, I thought it was going to be like just a concert film basically, but with a festival. And what D.A. Pennebaker does really well actually is there's no talking heads. He just kind of films stuff. There's two more. There's another one that I've got as well to talk about. He just kind of shoots what's happening, and I think that is wonderful. And I think even if you don't know the subject matter, or you're not necessarily like, I'm not really like into old psychedelic stuff from the 60s, I still think you would have a great time, because you just kind of get put in an environment and you're almost like, it's so voyeuristic. And especially for this, there's musicians who I don't even know that play in these films, and I get so engulfed in it because I'm like, I just love the vibe. I love the vibe of what D.A. Pennebaker does, and I love the vibe of what is a part of the Complete Monterey Pop Festival. Next up I got is The Tin Drum from 1979. Have yet to watch this one. And then following that, I also got Slacker by Richard Linklater. Have yet to see it. I look forward to, because I'm a big Linklater guy, as I'll explain a bit later. Next up is The Sword of Doom from 1966, starring Tatsuya Nakadai, and Toshiro Mifune is also in this. This film's sick. This film is so cool, man. It's, again, I would say it's like a perfect blend of the hyper-violent samurai film, think Lady Snowblood and Kill Bill, that kind of vibe, mixed with like a Kurosawa or a Masaki Kobayashi. Like, it's just the perfect blend of that kind of film. Tatsuya Nakadai plays a terrifying, flawed protagonist. Not a hero at all. Not a good guy at all. The action's incredible. The cinematography is gorgeous. The acting is intense. And if you want my more in-depth thoughts on this film, Robbie and I did discuss this film as a part of the Intermission podcast, so link is in the description below for that. Following on from that is F for Fake, an Orson Welles documentary. Have yet to watch this one. Following that is Alhazard Balthazar, the only Robert Bresson film I've seen. It's the film Following a Donkey, and it's fine. It's good. I get it. I understand it. I'm not in love with it, but I appreciate that a film like this exists. And that was my thought on Alhazard Balthazar. Next up, I've got is Les Samurai. Have yet to watch this one, but look forward to doing so because I like a good bit of French New Wave, and I like some noir stuff. And from my understanding, it also takes a lot of story elements from samurai stuff, which I love as well. Following that, speaking of French New Wave, is Masculine Feminine by Jean-Luc Godard. Have yet to watch it. It's always exciting watching a Godard film for the first time because you never know if it's going to be absolutely fantastic or absolutely boring. So I'll wait and see what I think of that one. Next up is Ugetsu. This is a beautiful version of this. Love this set by Kenji Mizuzuki. Have yet to watch this one, but I look forward to doing so. Following that is a DVD of Samurai Rebellion, directed by Masaki Kobayashi, starring Toshiro Mifune. And I've yet to watch this, but I tell you right now, I am very excited to watch this because I love Masaki Kobayashi's films. There hasn't been one that I've disliked. And I love Toshiro Mifune, as you probably can guess. Next up is one of my favourite films I own, and also just one of my all-time favourite films, Dazed and Confused by Richard Linklater. I love this film so much. I'm probably due a rewatch for this. I usually watch this like close to my birthday, and it's close to my birthday right now because it's summery. It's a beautiful hangout film. It's great. I can't fully put into words why or how much I love this film, although I have done, because Robbie and I have talked about this film on the Intermission podcast. So if you're curious about my thoughts on how much I love this film, links in the description below for that. Next up is E.E. by Edward Yang. This film I adore this film so much, and I've only seen it once, and it was about since 2019 maybe? Yeah, 2019 was the first time I watched this film. It's due a rewatch, but my God, it's just so profound, so phenomenal. I'm a little bit scared because I don't know if I'll like it as much now or if it was just one of those films like right time, right moment kind of thing. But I don't know, man. It's just, talk about a film just about like life. More about life for me than another film that I'll get to later on here. But absolutely sensational film. I need to give this a rewatch, and I might record my reevaluated thoughts on this film. Next up is Sancho the Bailiff by Kenji Mizuguchi. This film is sad. This is a sad film, and my history with this film is it was in the midst of when I was playing Ghost of Tsushima for the first time, so this is during the pandemic, and I finished Act 2 of Ghost of Tsushima. I'm not going to spoil it, but all I'll say is it's a very sad film. And I thought it's a very sad ending to Act 2. I'm like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. And then it got to it was nighttime. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to watch a film. I'm in the mood for an old samurai film that I haven't seen yet. As a bit of still keep it in the mood, but a bit of a pick-me-up kind of thing. And I knew nothing about Sancho the Bailiff, so I thought, I'll give this a go. I own it. Why not? It's not a samurai film, but it's just another sad film set in feudal Japan, I believe. Feudal Japan. It's great though. It does a really good job at being a sad film, but maybe not the right film I should have watched at that point. But it's really good, worth a watch, I think again. Next up is the Blu-ray of Ivan's Childhood by Andrei Tarkovsky. Excuse me. I wasn't a big fan of this one. Didn't really hit home for me. And this was the first Tarkovsky film that I saw, which is why for a while I was quite apprehensive to watch another Tarkovsky film. But I've seen one other one, and I'll talk about that a bit later. But Ivan's Childhood, I don't know. It just didn't do anything for me. And it's a film that's 95 minutes long. Felt longer than it was. I don't know. It might be worth a rewatch, but it didn't really do much for me. I think I could appreciate it for what it is, but I don't know. It just didn't. I don't know. Didn't do much for me. Didn't click at all. Next up is Mishima: A Life in 4 Chapters by Paul Schrader. Just a lovely, shiny case. This one is. This one's a fascinating one. Obviously based on the Was it Japanese author and playwright Yuko Mishima? A very interesting life. He did a lot. Did this Mishima? It's very Paul Schrader does a very good job. It's a very captivatingly made film in terms of like the way we do flashbacks. It's we go on sets that are clearly sets, but they're gorgeously like colored and lit and everything. And it goes through Mishima's life in 4 chapters. Yeah, I don't know. Didn't necessarily click with me, but I could appreciate the craft that went into this one. Come on, get back in. There you go. Next up is Bottle Rocket, the debut film by Wes Anderson. This one's a load of fun. This one's very good. I like this one a lot. It's an interesting plot for Wes Anderson. It's not like the usual kind of Wes Anderson film that you might think of. It's like a heist film, but it feels more... it's a very interesting one. It feels more like a 90s independent film. Like the Tarantinos or the Soderberghs or like those like gritty crime films. It feels like that, but with the Wes Anderson quirk and charm to it. It's a fascinating watch, knowing the filmmaker that Wes Anderson is now and what how he started off. It's a good one, but you can still see it. You can still see it's a Wes Anderson film. Next up is the DVD of White Dog by Samuel Fuller. This film is incredible. Talk about a powerful film about race. Yeah, no, it's great. It's excellent. I got no much more else to say. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I can't recall loads of it. But it is true, like, just, I don't know, man. As I said, just like, it's such an interesting look on race. And I'm saying that as a white man from England. So, yeah, no, it's really good. Very good. White Dog. Next up is Jean Dielman by Chantal Ackerman. Famously, or maybe infamously, I don't know. Where do we stand on that? I say famously. Now ranked as the #1 greatest film of all time, according to BFI's Sight and Sound. Not a film for everyone at all. Unlike the previous like #1 spots for the Sight and Sound list, where it's like I could recommend to people, yes, watch Citizen Kane, or yes, watch Vertigo. I don't know if I could recommend Jean Dielman for everyone. I like it a lot. It's a 200-minute, so it's a 3.5 hour film where you see a woman do chores in very unbroken segments, and I think it's great. I think there's a lot to it, but I can totally understand how people can watch this film and be like, "What are we doing here, man?" I don't agree with that. And oddly enough, again, considering the length of it and considering the contents of the film, it's a film that I am kind of itching to rewatch, and I would really want to give it another go. Unlike a film like Ivan's Childhood, which is 95 minutes of the film, like I don't know if I would want to watch that again. This film, 3.5 hour film about like a lady just doing stuff, I'd watch that again easily. And next up is a DVD of Wings of Desire by Wim Wenders. Love the concept about an angel kind of falling in love and wanting to, go back and all that stuff. I wasn't that entertained with the execution of this film, I will say. It falls into the box of I can appreciate that it's a good film, and I can understand that it is a very good film and quite, integral to cinema canon. But in terms of personal enjoyment, it doesn't rank that high for me. Yes. Next up is Make Way for Tomorrow. Fantastic film. I love this film. This film obviously is the film that inspired Tokyo Story, which is another film I adore. But Make Way for Tomorrow, it's an absolutely perfect film to watch with the family, is what I will say, because it's a film about family, but not like family at its like most perfect. And all I'm saying is it'll make you appreciate your grandparents. If you don't already, this film will do it. And if you still don't feel appreciative of your grandparents after this, then watch Tokyo Story and just think about it. But this is great. Absolutely fantastic film. Tokyo Story, if you've seen Tokyo Story and haven't seen Make Way for Tomorrow, Make Way for Tomorrow isn't as of a downer. So it's a bit more lighthearted. I definitely left that film feeling happy, I will say. Next up is The Fugitive Kind, directed by Sidney Lumet, based on Tennessee Williams' play, starring Marlon Brando. Have not seen it yet, but all those things I've mentioned. Again, I'm a big Lumet fan, so excited for me to watch something like that. Next up is Crumb documentary. Have not seen it yet. Look forward to getting to it, though. Next up is The Night of the Hunter. Now, this film is the very first Criterion DVD I've got, and I remember getting it, and it was broke, and it got cracked. Let me see. Yeah, there you go. It was cracked. I remember receiving that through the post and being gutted that that bit was broken. But now I've got a story with it, and that's the story. It's not an entertaining story. It's not even an in-depth story, but it is a story. This film is fantastic. Oh my God, this is such a great film. One of the best on-screen versions of good and evil. Phenomenal. It's one of the best looking films as well. Robert Mitchum is one of the most captivating villains in cinema history. And it's also about 90 minutes long. So it's a nice, sensational film. I could eat the atmosphere up in this film. Next up is Charlie Chaplin's Modern Times. This film I love. I absolutely love this film. Charlie Chaplin might be my favorite filmmaker ever. I think he might be. Yeah, that's probably true. He probably is my all-time favorite filmmaker, is Charlie Chaplin. So one day I do want to make a video entirely about Chaplin, going through his films. But Modern Times is absolutely fantastic. And also, if you are curious about my more in-depth thoughts on this, Robbie and I did cover this film on the Intermission podcast, so links in the description below for that one. Next up is Easy Rider, directed by Dennis Hopper, written by Hopper and Peter Fonda, and stars them both. This is a great film. This is such a great film. I haven't seen it in a while, though. But talk about just being absolutely immediately magnetized to a film. Not a really in-depth storyline. In fact, it is kind of just a bit slice of life-y in a sense, where you're just kind of just following these guys on a motorcycle, getting high, listening to music, going to town. There is a more direct storyline with it, but for the most part, it's kind of that, with one of the more interesting drug sequences in film, especially for 1969. It's great. It's great. I think it's an essential film for counterculture. So if you're fascinated by the history of counterculture, or all media that goes into that envelops counterculture, Easy Rider is a must-watch for you in that realm. The Last Picture Show by Peter Bogdanovich. Have yet to watch this film, but look forward to one day giving this one a go. Next up is Pale Flower. Have not seen this. This was a complete blind buy. I know nothing about it. I don't know anyone involved in it. I was in HMV and I was just in the mood. I just want to get a complete blind buy of a film that I don't know, but that is in the Criterion Collection, and Pale Flower is that. So I look forward to giving that a go. Next up is a DVD of The Great Dictator, a Charlie Chaplin film. Again, I won't get too much in depth of this, but I think what is absolutely amazing about this film is you go from Charlie Chaplin goes from being maybe the greatest performer of silent cinema in terms of being able to tell a story completely through physicality, to then, when he does his first talkie film, gives maybe one of the greatest monologues ever, not just in film, but also just in life. Just one of the most powerful films, I think. One of the most powerful endings to a film ever. And if you haven't seen the film, you've definitely seen that monologue. But the film itself is also very satirically great as well. I look forward to talking more about that in the future. Next up is a film noir called Kiss Me Deadly. Have yet to watch it, but I do want to get more into like old school noirs. Next up is The Phantom Carriage, a silent horror film from the 20s. I have yet to watch it. Look forward to doing that though, because I like exploring some silent horror. Now, here we go. Next up is a DVD of 12 Angry Men. For a while, I said this was my all-time favorite film, and even to this day, I still think this is maybe the greatest film ever made. Maybe tied with Seven Samurai. Both of those films probably tied, but 12 Angry Men is... Although I think Seven Samurai is a bit of a challenge to get people to watch it, I swear to God, man, I don't think that there is any challenge in getting anyone to watch this film. An example being that, like, a friend of mine and I watched this film late one time. Like, we watched another film. What did we do? We watched a few. We watched, like, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. And then he stuck on a film called The Boys in the Band, which I'd never seen. And I thought it was a very good film. And that's a film, like, set within one location. And we were talking about that. And he was saying, I just can't, like, I love that. I love, like, an example of, like, a film being, like, that kind of a thing of just a film being set in one location. I went, do you know 12 Angry Men? And he went, like, no. I went, it's, in my opinion, maybe the greatest film ever made, and it is just about 12 jurors in one room. And we just sat and watched, because it was on Prime at the time as well, so we sat and watched it, and this guy who is, like, again, never seen the film, just sat and was like, by the end of it, he goes like, no, that was really good. I'm like, yeah, right, exactly. I think anyone can connect and be really, like, just transfixed on the 12 Angry Men. I can't say anything bad about it. I think it's perfect. I think it's a perfect film. If you want more in-depth thoughts about it, Robbie and I talked about this film on an episode of the Intermission podcast. I'll leave a link in the description below for that. Next up is a film called Three Outlaw Samurai. How did I go so long without watching this film? I need to give it another rewatch. I haven't seen it since the first time. But my God, this film is just so up my alley. I love this film, and I'm shocked I never heard about it until I got the Blu-ray of this film for it. But yeah, no, absolute great film. Love it. Next up is Anatomy of a Murder. Excellent film. It's a courtroom drama starring James Stewart. What's there not to love? Really want to give this a rewatch. Really do want to give this a rewatch because it's been a while. Next up is a film I got twice. I got the DVD and the Blu-ray. It is The Gold Rush by Charlie Chaplin. Now, why do I own this twice? Well, I bought the DVD in American Barnes & Nobles in 2013. One day, I went to stick it in. It was going to be an episode of the Intermission, and we never covered it. Do you know why? Because I went to take the DVD out, and since the DVD is so... I mean, you can probably see it. Yeah, you can probably see it there. The DVD is so difficult to get out that I took it out of the case, stuck it in the Blu-ray player, was whirring away. I ended up snapping the disc. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see, like, the crack there. You can also see just the reflection. Oh, there you go. You can see the camera. You can see yourself. You can see the crack there as well. And I was devastated. So I eventually invested in buying the Blu-ray of it. And here's the Blu-ray of it. So I at least own the broken version for memory's sake. But here's the Gold Rush. I think it used to be my favorite Chaplin film. I think my favorite Chaplin film now is City Lights. But this is absolutely fantastic. Talk about, like... This film came out in 1925, and it has sets that I think still hold up. And it's also just one of the funnier Chaplin films. It's fantastic. Next up is Following, the debut feature film by Christopher Nolan. This is an example to me. I love this film. And this is an example to me on, like, what you can do or nothing. And I say this to, like, I think if you're a young filmmaker, it's like this, Clerks, and Brick are 3 essential films to watch, because not only are they just they're really low budget, they're low budget made films, but they're all excellent films by directors who've all went on to have great careers, and Following is an example of that. If you want a more in-depth thought about this video, this film, Gary and I did a review on this back in Heel Pictures when we were reviewing all of Christopher Nolan films. So I'll leave a link in the description below for that, of my review for Following from 2017, I think that was. Next up is The Man Who Knew Too Much, the original Man Who Knew Too Much by Alfred Hitchcock. I've yet to see the remake that Hitchcock did in the 50s, I think it was. But this is just a classic, just a really classic Hitchcock thriller. Really beautifully old school. So fun. Next up is The Ballad of Narayama. Have yet to watch this one. And up next is Badlands by Terrence Malick, the first Terrence Malick film. I like it. It's slow, and I know Terrence Malick's films are slow. I think I struggled a bit to be invested in this film, though, from a vibes point of view, because I think Malick is definitely a vibes filmmaker. With obviously a lot going on in his stories that he just doesn't explain. Verbally, I mean. Although I do think there's a lot that you could take away from his films visually. Badlands is a good debut film, I think. I think it's a very good debut feature. Was this a Palme d'Or winner? I feel like it was. It's Martin Sheen and Sissy Spacek, I believe. A really good, Bonnie and Clyde-esque story. I'm a bit of a sucker for those kinds of stories, and Badlands is a very good version of that. Next up is Monsieur Verdot, the first Chaplin film that he did not as the tramp character. No, it's not, because Great Dictator was that as well. But this is kind of like the first film he did not looking like the tramp. I'm not going to ruin the film, but it's an underrated Chaplin film. It's beautifully dark. It's darkly comedic, which Chaplin doing a dark comedy is fascinating. And yeah, man, it's good. Monsieur Verdot. Next up is Safety Last, Harold Lloyd film. An essential silent comedy. Harold Lloyd is great. This film is a load of fun. And I need to rewatch it. It's really good, though. Next up I've got is The Life of Oharu by Kenji Mizuzuki. Have yet to watch this one. Next up is Fantastic Mr. Fox, my favourite Wes Anderson film. It's the first Wes Anderson film I saw as well. It's such a go-to for autumn. I think the stop-motion animation is stellar. Yeah, and I still get emotional with this. I never used to get emotional with this film. I just kind of looked at it and goes, oh, it's a cozy comfort film. And then just one day, I was watching it with a bunch of uni mates in 2020 or whatever, pre-pandemic. And there was a certain moment, I think it was the waterfall sequence, that I just started getting emotional and choked up and oh my God, man. So Fantastic Mr. Fox, it makes you emotional if you're getting older. It's very good. I love this film. Love it, love it, love it. We'll watch it till the end of time. It's a great rewatch, man. Now, here we go. First box set, really. No, it's not. But anyway, it's the Jacques Demy collection. This set is one of my favorite sets, man. Look at that. That's just gorgeous. One summer, I just went through and binged these films. And it kind of ends on a bit of a dud. I don't love Un Chambre en Ville. But all the others are such a great watch. Jacques Demy is such just a human filmmaker, but makes his films so big and bold. They're gorgeous. Young Girls of Rochefort, probably my all-time favorite musical. And although I haven't talked about all these online, I did talk about The Umbrellas of Cherbourg as a part of the Intermission podcast. So if you're interested, give that a watch. I'll probably go through these again at some point because they're just such a joy to watch, man. Next up is The Tragedy of Macbeth, Roman Polanski's Tragedy of Macbeth. Have not seen this, have yet to watch it, but I want to add, fuck Roman Polanski. Next up is La Dolce Vita. Again, Have yet to watch a Fellini film, so I have not seen this one yet. It Happened One Night by Frank Capra, the blueprint for rom-coms, and I don't think the storyline of a rom-com has been done any better than it has in this. Amazing film. So funny, so charming. Predictable, yes, but my God, it hasn't, as I said, it hasn't been done any better. Maybe you could look at Annie Hall. I think this, Annie Hall, When Harry Met Sally, in terms of the classic rom-com formula, all those three films, they do it the best. Absolutely amazing. Next up is Francois Truffaut's Day for Night. Have yet to watch this one. Next is Moonrise Kingdom, Wes Anderson's Moonrise Kingdom. This is the first Wes Anderson film that I saw in the cinema. The very first film I saw in Tyneside Cinema, so it has a special place in my heart for that reason. A wonderful film. It's kind of like the best in-between of Wes Anderson going full stylistic. It's like the in-between of like Royal Tenenbaums and what he is now is Moonrise Kingdom. It's great. It's charming. It's so childlike, whimsy and wonder, but also has like a fairy tale like edge to it. Love it. Love that film. Now, next up is another D.A. Pennebaker film. It is Bob Dylan, Don't Look Back. This is documenting Bob Dylan's last acoustic tour before he went electric. And again, it is just a big hangout film. You just go through the film. You go through the tour and you see like Dylan in like his hotel rooms with other people and just chatting and chilling and going out and performing. It's great. It feels like you're watching a load of like home videos and watching a Bob Dylan home video, like tour diary from the 60s. As a Dylan fan, it's so cool. It's so cool to watch. But I think if you're not a big Dylan guy, I still think it's a fascinating one to watch. Next up is Gilda, starring Rita Hayworth. If you know The Shawshank Redemption, you know one scene from this film. But this is such a really cool and slick noir, man. And Rita Hayworth might be the greatest femme fatale, maybe the greatest female noir performance. Ooh, I don't know. She's great in this, man. She's very like sleek and sexy, but also very vulnerable and all very believable as well. It's fantastic. Next up is A Brighter Summer Day by Edward Yang. I like E.E. more, but this film, I mean, it's a mammoth, this one. How long is this one? 236 minutes. I can't do the math immediately, but that's nearly 4 hours, I believe. It might be just over 4 hours. It's a beast of a film. But it's such like, I don't know, it's such a epic. Like, you know, like how like people look at like a Steinbeck novel. This is a Steinbeck novel for film, is what I will say. It's amazing. It's heavy. It's a heavy film. I need to go back to it. It's been a while. Only Angels Have Wings. Have not seen it yet. In a Lonely Place. Haven't seen it yet. But again, as I've said, I want to be getting into some old school noirs. And hey, man, I've heard that's one of the best ones. Oh, my goodness. It nearly fell out. Did you see that? It's the Lone Wolf and Cub films. I have seen the first three, have not yet watched the last three. They're fun, pulpy, vibrant samurai action films, and I can't wait to finish it. Akira Kurosawa's Dreams, have yet to watch it. I kind of want to watch more of Kurosawa's and watch this as a bit of an epilogue for Kurosawa's career, because that's just the feeling that I get from it. Next up is Punch Drunk Love by Paul Thomas Anderson. Amazing film. Maybe Sandler's best performance ever. This is growing on me more and more in terms of top PTA films. It's not a big, hefty epic like a There'll Be Blood or a big sprawling character thing like Boogie Nights. But this is such a beautiful, beautiful film. And in terms of a film about love and about loneliness, this is up there, man. It's one of the best ones. The Squid and the Whale by Noah Baumbach. Very good Baumbach film about. This is Baumbach's Royal Tenenbaums, is what I will say in many accounts. Really good. I like it. Deserves a rewatch. His Girl Friday. This is an example of a screwball comedy film that I'm not as big on. I like it more than Lady Eve. I don't like it as much as It Happened One Night. I don't know if It Happened One Night classes as screwball. But in terms of a comedy film from the 30s, 40s, 50s, I need to give this another rewatch. I wasn't too hot on it, though. But yes. Woo! Right. Okay. The Before trilogy. This is my favorite trilogy of all time. It's one of my all-time favorite. All of these are some of my all-time favorite films. I'll probably one day do a video talking about these films because I can't share my love for these films just in this kind of video. I need to give them a rewatch as well. It's been far too long since I've watched them. But truly, they're truly special to me. They mean a lot. I adore the Before trilogy. Being there, this is a really nice film to just watch. Like, if you're like on a rainy day, or if you just want to chill Sunday, Being There's a really good one for it. Peter Sellers is excellent. It's a really good it's a really good comedy drama. So it's lighthearted, but it's not. But there's still a lot of heart in it. There's a lot of it's a very heartfelt comedy. It's very good, very good. Tampopo. Have yet to watch it, but from everything I've heard about it, I'm sure I'll like it. Othello, the one with Orson Welles. Have yet to watch this one. They Live by Night. Have yet to watch this. But again, it's an old school noir, so I'll get to it at some point. Certain Women, Kelly Reichardt film. Have yet to watch this one. Now here we go. The Philadelphia Story. I adore this film. This is a film. The more I watch it, the more I love it. Now this is a screwball comedy that I love, absolutely love it. You get Cary Grant, Katharine Hepburn, and James Stewart doing a love triangle. What an absolutely incredible time. We did cover this on the Intermission podcast, so if you want my more in-depth thoughts on this film, links in the description below for that. George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead. Have yet to watch it. That's a big one for me. That's a big one to not have seen yet. Dead Man by Jim Jarmusch. Have yet to watch this one. Oh, can I get it back here? There you go. Here we go. Sex, Lies, and Videotapes. Have yet to watch this one. The Tree of Life by Terrence Malick. Beautiful. Visually. Stunning. Breathtaking. I can understand it's a very personal film for Terrence Malick. And I like this film, by the way. I don't hate this film. I do like it a lot. I'll probably get back to it, watch it again at some point. It's not a film. It's a film that it's another one that I appreciated more than I loved. But I don't think you can deny how gorgeous it is, man. It's an absolutely stunning film. And it wouldn't exist if it wasn't for film itself. We wouldn't have an experience like that if in any other art form, I don't think, personally. The Magnificent Ambersons. Now, this is Orson Welles' second film, and I wasn't a fan of this, man. Did not like this one at all. It's 88 minutes long, and the pacing was atrocious from my memory. I can't remember anything really about it. Maybe I'll go back to it and reevaluate it. We'll see. 24 Frames by Abbas Kiarostami. I have yet to watch this one, but I do like some Abbas Kiarostami. Swing Time, a Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers film. Very fun, very good, very entertaining. It's a shame that Fred Astaire does blackface at one point. That took me off guard. Not a fan. Not a fan. The Coca trilogy by Abbas Kiarostami. I've seen the first two films, haven't seen the other one. What a fascinating concept for 3 sets of films, by the way. I'm not going to reveal it if you haven't seen them, because I think you should. Watch Taste of Cherry first to see if you vibe with Kiarostami. Because he does do slow films, but I think they're captivating, and I think they're interesting. Others might find them boring. I say, give them a go. But yeah, no, the first film is like, oh, wow, okay. Second film, oh, this is what it's about? Amazing. And I started watching the third film, but then things happened. I won't get into it. You don't care. But I watched the third film and go, oh my God, and now this is about this? Amazing concept. I'll finish this trilogy again at some point, and I'll probably do a video talking about them. All About Eve. Absolutely phenomenal film. Incredible. A classic for a reason. It's one of those ones where it's like people talk about this film for a reason. And I think the story, like it's so sinister, but it's full of like Hollywood glitz and glam as well. Oh, it's tasty. It's so good. It's so up my street. I love it so much. Failsafe by Sidney Lumet, starring Henry Fonda. If you know, hey, I loved 12 Angry Men. Of course I'm going to watch another film that Sidney Lumet directed with Henry Fonda in it. This is so good. This makes a great companion piece to Dr. Strangelove. Dr. Strangelove is more satirical. This is more like serious about it. Very like tense and gripping. Roma by Alfonso Cuarón. Big fan of this one. It's been a while since I've seen it. I haven't seen it since 2018. So I should probably give it another go. But gorgeous, gorgeous film. The Grand Budapest Hotel. I said Fantastic Mr. Fox is my favourite Wes Anderson. I think this is the best Wes Anderson. My second favourite Wes Anderson film. This film is just Wes Anderson at his best. And I don't think he's been better since. He's kind of went downhill since the Grand Budapest Hotel. I don't think he's made bad films. I just don't think he's been able to reach the level of this in terms of this is him at his, the craft that he's put into this film is sensational. Like the direction, the costumes, the sets, the way it's edited, the storyline, it's all incredible. But there's also still a beautiful amount of heart in this film. He's never been better. He's never been better. Dance Girl Dance, a film directed by, what's her name? Dorothy Arzner, who I found out was Francis Ford Coppola's teacher, mentor. I have seen this film once, and I have really liked it, but I can't remember anything about it. But whenever I do see this film and think about it, I go like, man, I really liked that film. I should probably rewatch it to find out why I really liked it. John Cassavetes' Husbands, have yet to see it. Scorsese shorts. This is a fun set of a lot of Martin Scorsese short films. One big highlight is Italian America, which is just a documentary of him talking with his parents. It's so captivating, but just seeing them just talking, it's great. There's a lot of other great shorts. Is it The Big Shave? Is it in that one? Is it The Big Shave? Yeah, The Big Shave. Great concept. Love it. The Cameraman by Buster Keaton. My favorite Buster Keaton film. It's a really great like slapsticky comedy. And then by like the third act, it goes mental. It's like genuinely insane. And it's crazy that a film that came out in 1928, nearly 100 years ago, is so entertaining and has went so mental that I kid you not, guys, it genuinely went mental with it. It's brilliant. Oh, I need to say, in terms of Grand Budapest Hotel, I did a review of this like when it came out for Heel Pictures, so I'll leave a link in the description below for that if you want to watch. Excuse me, my more in-depth thoughts on the film. Where am I at? Oh, here we go. Marriage Story by Noah Baumbach. I adore this film. Made me cry 4 times. I think it's like Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson are great, amazing in this film. Probably my favorite Baumbach film. No, actually, no. Frances Ha might be my favorite Baumbach film. But this might be Baumbach's best film in terms of like, you know, like, okay, so like how I compared it. If The Squid and the Whale is Noah Baumbach's Royal Tenenbaums, then this might be his Grand Budapest Hotel, which means Frances Ha might be his Fantastic Mr. Fox. If you agree with that, let me know. Anyway, it's great. Love Marriage Story. I've got nothing much more to say other than that. Beau Travail by Claire Denis. A fascinating film. Like, again, it's slow pace, but again, I don't think I can really tell you much about what I recall narratively, but in terms of what I felt, it's such a deep portrayal of masculinity. Yeah, man, it's great. Fantastic. Parasite. I love this edition, man. It's so good. Parasite. Yeah, man. It's fucking Parasite. It's amazing. It's one of the best made films. I need to give it a rewatch. It's been a while. I'm not sure if I would say it's my favorite Bong Joon-ho. That still might be Memories of Murders. But Parasite is like, I don't know, man. It's defined this decade, I think, so far. Like, it's, you know, we lived in a pre-Parasite cinema and a post-Parasite cinema. It's funny. It's intense. It's accessible. It's stylish without being in your face. Like, it's reserved in its style while being so, like, have such a distinct style, man. It's phenomenal. I should probably give it a rewatch and do a video on it. Like, that might be something. That might be something. Girlfriends. This is a fun film. From my understanding, this is actually the film that inspired Frances Ha. Yeah, again, I think it's definitely a film that, like, is a great example of showing what it's like to be young. It's a great, like, so if you're within your 20s, I think it's an essential film to watch. It's really cool. The Irishman. Love this film. It's like 3.5 hours long, and I could keep watching it, man. It's a great Scorsese flick. I think it's a great, like, I described it as like, it's almost like what The Godfather Part 3 wishes it was. And I think it's like a really beautiful, like, epilogue for Scorsese's crime cinema. Like mob mafia gangster cinema. Like, you could watch all of his films from that kind of a genre. And then Irishman feels like, oh, this feels like a beautiful goodbye to, like, again, his current, like, stretch of years is like he's almost aware that he's old. He goes like, hey man, my next film maybe could be my last, so who knows. So he's almost making every film now like it could be his last film. And what he's making are bangers. They're making bangers. It's a shame he's resorting to using AI for storyboards. Don't do that, Marty. You've been able to make great films without doing that with pre-production, so you don't need to keep doing that. Irishman's a great example. And another great example is the Rolling Thunder Review, another film that he did that I think's fantastic. Again, similar to Don't Look Back, the Bob Dylan film. This is another absolutely fantastic Bob Dylan film. This is set with it. This is like documenting like the 70s tour. And it's just so cool. Again, as someone who loves Bob Dylan, but I also am a big Joan Baez fan. I'm a big Joni Mitchell fan. I like Patti Smith. I like all these musicians from the 60s and 70s. And it's fun just watching a concert film like that. It's fun. There are talking heads in this. Which really, like, I don't know, it creates good scenes through the narrative. If it was like the Don't Look Back, I think it would be a bit more of a struggle. Whereas, like, it's great because this film really tells like the story on like how the Rolling Thunder exists and what even it was. It's fantastic. The Ascent. I need to give this another rewatch. Not because I think it's bad, but I watched it when I wasn't in the right headspace. I watched it like at a time where I was really tired from doing, like, I was like in the midst of a uni deadline, and I thought I'll stick this on, and it's a patient film, which I love those, and I was invested enough, but I just felt tired, and I had to pause the film, nap, wake up, finish the film. So I don't think I really retained it that well. So I need to give it another fair shot. That was my bad, guys. My bad. Secrets and Lies by Mike Leigh. Love this one. The way Mike Leigh directs, because again, this film isn't necessarily written. He definitely he allows the actors to improv, and likewise within this film. But it creates like a great like energy, because it doesn't feel like staged. Like, it is staged in the sense like we've got the camera here and you are coming here and we need to get to this point. And he works with his actors so much and so well that he kind of just goes, okay, now I'm going to trust you to do that. And boy, do they do that. Especially like the scene that's like presented here is just amazing. Brenda Blethyn, who is in this, is just one of the best performances ever. It's amazing, man. I've rewatched it, good feud. I've watched it twice now, and it's a film that I could see myself rewatching again, which is surprising for a film of this kind of a topic. Next up is Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I need to give this another rewatch. I've only watched this once, and I really liked it. But I feel like, you know what? I might stick this on. No, I'm gonna be rewatching The Bear this week, so I'll stick this on maybe another point. This will be another time. This will be another one that I will rewatch. But I really liked it, man. I really liked it. It's really good, really fun. The Flowers of Shanghai. Is it Hao Xiaoshen? Is the film? Yeah, Hao Xiaoshen. Have yet to watch this. Next up is Mirror by Andrei Tarkovsky. This is the only other Tarkovsky film I've seen, and I love this film. And you are going to be very incorrect if you think I'm going to give any of my in-depth thoughts about this film in this kind of a video. Well, I'm starting to flag a bit, if you've noticed. But it's fucking amazing. I think this is okay to tie up my actual feelings towards this film. I am of the opinion that this is one of the best examples of translating subconscious into film. Like, this film's not meant to be understood in a narrative way. This film's meant to be felt, because it's presented like it's as if I were to transcribe. It's like Tarkovsky transcribed his thoughts, like his feelings and his dreams. He transcribed his memories and his dreams, and he made Mirror. It's one of the greatest examples of film ever, and I may never make a video about it, because what could I say about it? Bringing Up Baby. This is a fun film. This is a screwball comedy that I like a lot. Is it silly and ridiculous? Yes. But my God, it's charming. What a charm. I've rewatched it. I've seen it twice now, and I'll see it a third time. You can't stop me. Company by D.A. Pennebaker, about the showcasing the Stephen Sondheim musical. I've not watched the musical. I know the song Being Alive. That's all I know about this. But this is such a treat to be like, again, D.A. Pennebaker, like what he does with Monterey Pop and Don't Look Back, he does again with Company, where he just kind of like, he's voyeuristic. You're a fly on the wall on the studio recording of this Broadway musical. Oh, it's so cool to watch. I think, like, if you're a big Broadway fan as well, this is such a treat for you. Next up is Raging Bull. This is the 4K Blu-ray. I need to rewatch this, man, but this is such a stellar, stunning film. I've seen it once. The first time I watched it, I wasn't in the great headspace, and even not being in the greatest headspace, I still thought it was fantastic. Robert De Niro is great. The way this was shot, the use of black and white is stunning. And I've watched this film only on DVD. I've yet to watch it through the 4K. Woo! Boy, I'm looking forward to that. And now I need to go back because here we are. The next film, speaking of Martin Scorsese in 4K, is After Hours. This film is great. I love the chaos and carnage of this film. This film takes place over one night and shit happens is the way to describe this film. I kind of wish like Scorsese did more of these kinds of films where you just kind of like watch one ordinary guy and just disaster happens to him, and just it's funny, it's intense, it's a wild time, it's such like a great it's like an hour and 37. It's one of the 80s films, I think, because it's got such an 80s vibe about it without being cheesy and without being nostalgia-y. You know, like how like Back to the Future or like an Amblin film feels like, I know everyone like everyone milks the nostalgia out of this. You don't see After Hours nostalgia because it's not that kind of a film, but it's such a beautifully 80s film, man. It's stunning. It's great. It's a great film. Next up is a film called Happiness, which I haven't seen. I've heard it's really dark, so I think I know nothing about it as well, so I need to be prepared for that. I might watch it and do a video about it and see what I think, give my reactions. Next up is Honora by Sean Baker. One of the funniest films I saw the year it came out. I remember thinking to myself, oh, again, because I didn't really know anything about it, I remember thinking, oh God, is this going to be just like, not oh God as such, but like, all right, I'm understanding what I'm getting. Like, this is the first half. Like, okay, I'm understanding what I'm getting. I'm watching like basically a Pretty Woman scenario of like a sex worker marries a rich young guy, and we're just watching this relationship. I'm not necessarily buying the relationship here, but here we go, I guess. And then, but by the second half, it becomes just a complete like screwball slapstick, insane comedy, and I vibe so much with it. Mikey Madison's fantastic as well. I'm looking forward to seeing how she does in The Social Reckoning. Although that's another story entirely. I'm glad she's, you know, because I really liked her in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I thought she was really fun in Scream 5 as well, and I'm so glad she had a film like this to do to just really just get her chops in to it. Finally, in this kind of a section, before we move on to the bigger box sets that I've got, is Birth by Jonathan Glazer. Have not seen it yet, but I'm excited. I know nothing about it. I know nothing about Birth, but I like Jonathan Glazer. And, yeah, so that's an exciting thing. Now, that moves me on to the sets that I've got, the box sets. First one I want to show, there's 3 of these, by the way, is The World of Wong Kar-wai, a load of films by Wong Kar-wai. This might be my favorite Blu-ray set that I own, because it's gorgeous. I'm not going to get it out, but it's like, oh, it's gorgeous the way it's like presented and the artwork and the films involved in this. Love it. I, in fact, did a video going through all these films for the very first time over on the intermission, so I'll leave in the link in the description below for that. That might be my favorite YouTube video that I've ever made. I'm a big fan of it. Big fan of it. I love these films as well. Wong Kar-wai is easily one of my all-time favorite filmmakers. I need to go back and watch them. Yeah, man. Need to go back and rewatch them. Love them. Love them. I don't love them all, but all of them at least give me enough to talk about. And next up is the complete Zatoichi box set. I have yet to delve into this beast of a set. There's like 25 films. But I'm excited to. I'm excited to get involved with these films because, hey, man, I love some pulpy samurai action. Now, finally, the final thing, I have to go here because it doesn't fit on a shelf, is Ingmar Bergman's Cinema. We'll leave it here. I believe it's every Ingmar Bergman film. This is a beast of a set, man. I've seen a few of them. I haven't seen every single one. I'm getting through them. Ingmar Bergman is becoming a very fascinating filmmaker for me. I've seen at least one film each decade he's been active in, I think. 50s, so maybe not. I've seen films of his from the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s, and it's exciting. Oh no, he made more films post then as well. But the 50s, 60s, 70s, I've seen at least some films from then, from his, and it's been fascinating to watch them. And I'm discovering I'm a much bigger fan of later Bergman than I am earlier Bergman, but it's really cool to see his earlier stuff. A goal of mine is to make a video going through all of these films. That's a big project, and it's probably going to take a few years to do so, but that's what I want to do. And that is all of my films I own on Criterion Collection. Yeah. What do you think of it? If you have any opinions about any films that I have talked about, comment below. Let me know what you think of them. Let me know what your favorite Criterion film is if you dabble in the Criterion Collection. I'll probably do more Blu-ray and physical media videos as well at some point. But yeah, that's my Criterion Collection. Comment below, let me know what are some of your favorite films in the Criterion Collection. Link is in the description below for the Crazy Stupid Kino Instagram page, as well as my own personal Instagram and my Letterboxd account. If you like this video, give it a like, share it, subscribe to Crazy Stupid Kino for more videos where I talk film. Off to the side here are some more videos you can click on. And till next time, I shall see you later.